Sanibonani, dumelang, hello molweni, gamalam ngulwazi, and there are some videos that I have been coming across on my feed and I wanted to talk about it. So I've been seeing videos from women, most of whom grew up in the church, and they were talking about how the church is keeping women single and how they're tired of being good girls because the good girls are losing right now. They're down bad. The bad girls, the fatties, are the ones who are winning. And if you're tired of being a good girl because you thought that it meant being timid, being afraid of everything, hiding from the world, hiding from yourself, lacking boundaries, hiding your talent, hiding your beauty, not loving yourself as you love your neighbors, if those are the things that you were doing and you thought that it made you a good girl, stop that thing. Stop it. It's not. It's nowhere are we told to be timid. We're told to be meek. But meekness is about self-control. It's about not misusing strength. And humility is not about hiding away, but it's about knowing the strengths and the beauty that you possess and honoring God with it, glorifying God with it, knowing that it comes from Him, and not misusing or putting it at a higher place than it needs to be. If the things you want to walk away from are being loving, joyful, peaceful, patient, kind, good, faithful, gentle, pure, lovely, noble, true, I'm gonna ask you to reconsider. I know that being in the world is difficult. It makes you hardened. And when you have a hardened exterior, you think that it will protect you from being hurt, it will protect you from being used, but it won't. If you are so hardened that you don't allow people in anymore, not only will you not be hurt, but you will also not experience love. Not only will you keep hurt and pain out, but you'll be closing the door to a world of beauty. Instead, perhaps we ought to trust our ability to heal. Instead, we ought to practice forgiveness, practice discernment, practice boundaries, and healthier communication. Because to love other people doesn't mean always saying yes. It is obviously very good for you to be able to be honest about what you can and what you can't do. And those things are harder. It's harder to work on your communication. It's harder to work on your boundaries. It's harder to forgive. It's harder to be patient and to be kind. But it's also more worthwhile. And it's also the very things that God is constantly doing with us. He's constantly forgiving us because we're always falling short. He's constantly showing us grace and offering love. If we allow Him, He can fill us up with that and give us the strength and the ability to do so to others around us. And if we are filled with His joy, it will overflow to those around us, so that when they take it, it doesn't feel like a loss, but instead it is part of us honoring God. I empathize. I'm not going to make it seem as though it's not something that we really are seeing out in the world, because we are seeing that people who use means that aren't always good to get what they want are getting what they want. And in some ways it feels like an injustice because you don't feel that they deserve to win. They don't deserve to get married after, living their best lives while you've kept yourself for marriage, watching the people that you thought would choose you choose other people. I empathize with that, especially if you grew up in the church. It's a very different experience to someone who got saved later in life. And one thing about talking about goodness and not falling into temptation or not, being worldly, we don't always talk about the fact that sin is fun. That's why people are doing it. It's because it's actually fun. The thing, though, is that it's not fulfilling. When I was in high school, my family had already begun to go to church. At the time, I think my mom was already saved. Um, we were having a conversation, my sisters and I, and we were talking about salvation and how, what other people's testimonies sounded like. And I couldn't commit to Christ at the time because I felt that it was unfair. Why should I deprive myself while other people go out there, do whatever they want, and then come back and get saved? Now, obviously, I thought about the fact that I could die while I'm still in the world and I'm not saved yet. That would be so tragic. It very well could have happened that way. But the sad thing is that everything we need is already in the Bible. There is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing that we could possibly experience that could ever come close to what God is and who God is to us. The emptiness, the hole in our heart, this longing for a home that will truly feel like home, where you will belong and you will be loved and you will experience peace and joy. All these things that we long for are only found in Christ, are only found in God. And what sin does is it convinces you that it can fulfill that promise. So when we experience lust, we convince ourselves that it is love. When we experience someone wanting us or choosing us, even if they're just doing it for a moment, we convince ourselves that it means that we are worthy. It means that we are the thing that we want to be, whether it's the most beautiful or we are desirable or we are loved. We fill in the dots and we extrapolate and we stretch it so that it can fit that hole that only God can fill. And while things like pride can help you feel as though you are worthy or powerful or important, still it's just a cheap imitation of the fact that your identity is in the one who made you. I don't for 1 second want to support you going out into the world to figure it out on your own and to make the things that you want to happen without God. I don't want you to think that those wins, because there will be victories. If money is what you're looking for, money is what you'll find. If a partner is what you're looking for, a partner you will find. But if you want a godly man that God has for you, if you want joy, if you want peace, if you want provision, those things are things only God can give. His covering only He can give. Security is only in Him, because even when you do have all the money in the world, you still can't control you still can't control a lot of things. It's just false sense of security. What we need is God. Megan Ashley was speaking, and she was talking about how we look at the wrong things, the job, the car, the trips. None of that matters or mattered when she had a special needs child and she needed a husband who could cover her in prayer. There is a sacrifice that you make when you go out and do things your way. When you stop trusting God and you do it yourself, there's a sacrifice, there's a trade that you're making. It's a temporary win, it's a temporary victory, but the gap, the requirements, the desire that you really had lasts long after that victory has worn out. I just encourage you to just hang in there, to endure, to trust. And the thing you need to understand about God is that He is a father to us, a father who gives good gifts to his children. If singleness is what you have been given, that is a good gift for you. If a godly husband is what He gives you in this season, that is a good gift for you. If you get a gift before it is time for you to have it, it is not a good thing. Giving a baby a Ferrari is useless because they can't drive. And giving a 14-year-old, no, well, to start driving age 17, giving a 17-year-old who's learning how to drive a Ferrari is still not a good thing, because they're going to smash it up and they don't appreciate it. And maybe that's your dream and not the child's dream. The child just wanted to be mobile. Whatever the case, I don't know if you hear what I'm saying, but our Father knows exactly what we need and when we need it. When we need it. So a big part of everything we need coming from Him is trusting that He's a loving Father who will give us the good gifts in their time. And another part of that is acceptance. Understanding that we don't know best, He knows best. I wanted to read something. This is Psalm 73, verse 2 to 5, then verse 7, 9, 13, and 16 to 19. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have no struggles. Their bodies are healthy and strong. They are free from common human burdens. They are not plagued by human ills. From their callous hearts come iniquity. Evil imaginations have no limits. Their mouths lay claim to heaven, and their tongues take possession of the earth. Surely in vain I have kept my heart pure and have washed my hands in innocence. All day long I have been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishments. When I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply, till I entered the sanctuary of God. Then I understood the final destiny. Surely you place them on slippery ground. You cast them down to ruin. How suddenly are they destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. It is easy to look around at the way those who are evil, at those who take shortcuts at the expense of other people's lives, or those who manipulate their way into situations, those who are straight up conning, scamming, manipulating. To look at these people and to feel as though you are losing, and maybe it's not worth it being good because the reward is not the same level of prosperity. But the things of this world are perishing. The kingdom of God is eternal. don't lose your soul over things that won't even matter once you have them. Have you ever really wanted something? Whether it was to get into a relationship with someone, or your dream car, or your first apartment, a vacation, whatever it is, and then you had it, and it wasn't what you expected it to be. It wasn't amazing. Like, you were excited, but you got over it. The excitement wore off. That's the pattern with everything. We chase these things. We think they'll change our lives. We think that everything will be fine if I can just be with Smagele, or if I can just drive a car. And then you do, and now you have new problems. Now you need petrol money. Now the partner that you thought would, make you feel whole is demanding or annoying you. Whatever the case, nothing in this world will ever satisfy you. So the sooner we find our contentment in God, the better. And as for those who lie and scam and scheme and manipulate or compromise their values to get what they want, the end is not good. So don't envy it. There's a price for every sacrifice that we make. Even when we have been forgiven by God, there are still consequences to our actions. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 1 to 9 says, "The words of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labors at which they toil under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it starts. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north, round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear is full of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun." Everything is meaningless outside of God. So, to not win, to not have the best of everything, that's not fun. That's not great. And I'm not minimizing it. But even if you had it, you wouldn't be happy. Not really. Even if God gave it to you, it wouldn't be enough. So maybe we just need a change in perspective. And maybe we need to find what we are looking for in Him instead of in the world. Okay. Bye.